Good morning. Good morning. How are you? I hope you're safe and well because that is, as always, the most important thing. Anyway, what have we got for you today? Well, the CLP Legislative Act went through Parliament earlier on, well, it was last week, and it's currently in committee. We've had a lot of debate in the newsletter about why this is happening and how. One interesting thing that I thought you might like to know is that the rapporteur, that's the person responsible for kind of steering the act through the European Parliament, actually put a post on LinkedIn. And they're talking about a 6-month change for label compliance. Are you kidding me? Only 6 months to change how labels are done, because of course they are bringing in the sizes, minimum sizes on the labels. They're expressing it as millimeter height as well as font size, because of course if it was font size you would just choose the tiniest font you could find. So the fact that they've got millimeter height now is a lot better because it gives a fixed minimum height. And also the fact that they've no longer said you have to have the same gap between the lines, which was the real problem with trying to put information on the label. So, but 6 months, that's going to be a tough one, I think. And we discuss it more in the newsletter. So I thought I'll put a link in case you want to sign up to the newsletter here. Word of warning, you'll be too late to receive today's newsletter by email. But of course, you can look in the newsletter archive, and it will be going out at 9:30, which is when the email newsletter comes out. So that link's just gone out as well, in case you want to read a bit more. But, you know, our readers are saying some really interesting things. Anyway, leaving the Legislative Act on one side, we also have some interesting information from my colleague Ali about the Windsor Framework. Now, that's the replacement for the Northern Ireland Protocol for when we move stuff from GB into Northern Ireland. And there's going to be a red lane where normal customs checks apply, and a green lane for goods that are not going to leave Northern Ireland and that must be marked for sale in Northern Ireland only. And there has been, now let me see, one piece of guidance for chemicals. Only one piece of guidance, and that's on biocides. There has been nothing else apart from what Ali describes as a throwaway line about chemicals. So first of all, I'm going to put the biocides link below this video for anybody selling biocides into Northern Ireland. But I'm just going to actually read what she says about the thing. Now then, the throwaway line is goods will not be subject to customs procedure except in a limited number of cases where the EU is required to check because the EU has international obligations concerning controls on hazardous chemicals, drug precursors, etc. Now, whether that's referring to the things like PIC, prior informed consent, or whether it means all chemicals, we have no idea because there is no other guidance beyond that biocide link I just put in. So it would be really rather helpful for some guidance on chemicals to be issued so that all of us, not just those of us in the chemical industry, but people selling things like washing up liquid and shampoos and other products which are sort of perceived to be part of the chemicals market, because of course technically everything's made of chemicals. Let's not get into that argument today, but it would be really helpful if we could have some guidance on the Windsor Framework and chemical products. Even if we just define chemical products as everything that's classified for CLP, that would be a start. Right, so that's the work side of things out of the way. And it's time for reasons to be cheerful. Well, obviously, in the circumstances of the terrorist attacks in Israel and then the effects on the civilians in the Israelis' response to the terrorist attacks, there is a lot of pain in the world. There are a lot of bad things happening. And to be perfectly honest, it's not been a brilliant week for us either. But I am a big believer in being grateful for small mercies when bad things happen. And I thought you might like a link on just a short link on YouTube from Jordan Peterson on gratitude and how important it is to look for the blessings, to look for the upsides in certain situations. And that might help you if you too are having a tough time at the moment. I'd also remember these things shall pass, because everything does in the end. Anyway, that's it from me for today. I will wish you a very good weekend. I hope everybody in your life is safe and well. And I look forward to chatting to you again next week. Take care of yourselves. Bye.